Hello and welcome back to LENGO Talks, a show powered by LENGO Africa. I'm your host, Natasha Shisoka. We talk about career development and self-development, among other things. And today we are joined by Winnie, the head trainer and coach at LENGO Africa. Welcome, Winnie.
Thank you very much, Natasha.
Okay. So a few of you, like my friends and some of my followers, they came and asked me, okay, so we watched the first episode, yeah? We were talking about how to get a job and everything in that line. So some of you watched the previous episode that we did, and it was talking about, problems with your CV and why you are not getting called back for an interview. So right now, we're going to tackle I've been called for the interview, right? What should I expect, and what are some of the questions that I'm going to be asked by the interviewer? And one of the questions, for instance, is like, tell us about yourself, like tell us more about yourself. So how should I go about it? Do I mention my family, my personal life, or my career? Like, how do I go about that, Winnie?
Okay, yeah. So an interview is a good place to start. And we said an interview, of course, the CV we said is your marketing tool. Now that you have arrived at the interview, you need to sell yourself. It's a pitching opportunity. Pitch out yourself. Show the employer that you're ready for what they are offering. So the first question they most likely ask you is, tell us about yourself. So you need to give a brief introduction about yourself, but stick to the position that you're being interviewed. Remember, the interview can be in anything. So depending on what you're being asked, give the details that are relevant to the job.
So you're not supposed to mention anything about your personal life?
A few only that is relevant for the job. You could give a story about yourself if you're coming in, for example, you're coming into an NGO as a program director and you want to explain why you feel passionate about this program. You could give a brief introduction and say, maybe because of your background, or maybe because I slept hungry and I want to come to this organization because they have an aim of feeding the children. You see, that is your Unexperience relevant to the job. So only give a summary of your education, but stick to facts that are related to the job.
Okay. For instance, I am interviewing you.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself.
Now, tell me the job you want to interview me about. It's very critical.
Maybe in the sales department,
Yeah.
you're applying maybe to be a sales manager.
Yes. So
and they ask you.
So I have to give myself my training that definitely has everything to do with sales. If there's a course I've done that is helping me to I've attended a public speaking course, for example, if my course entails going to pitch for the client, or I have done presentation course. So things that are relevant to the job. What are some of the things that I require to be a success in my new job? So I'll stick to those. A little bit just about you. So don't tell us so many things. I'm married. Might not be relevant unless you are asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So aside from that, what are other questions that I might be asked, or our viewers might be asked, like when they're in an interview setting?
Yeah. So you'll be asked, why do you feel that you want to join our team? Why our company, for example? And you need to be convinced. So before the interview, definitely, when you're called for an interview, you have to do research on the company.
Okay.
And then get some facts about them that makes you feel like you want to be part of their team. So it has to be information that you garnered from their website and wherever, and maybe even before you applied for the job. That's why we say this job applying thing, it's about you and your passions and what you love. So you just don't walk into an interview. People know when you're enthusiastic or not. If you just come there and you're bored, the energy is down, people will know. So people want to onboard people in their team who are enthusiastic, who want to be part of their team. So how you answer those questions just wants to tell people, do you want to really come in? Do you want to be part of our team? So you do a bit of research and also give your reasons. I believe actually you should not go to an interview if you're really not even prepared psychologically. Okay. Why are you feeling like you really want this job? It should not just be money. Because if it's just money, it will come out. Yeah, because you will come out just bored. I just want your money. No, money is earned. So you give to receive. So you have to be ready to give something, to be part of the team. Then you will earn money. So if you're just coming for money, it will be seen.
Yeah, because I hear people say like you trade your time for the money.
Yeah, for the money, yes. Okay. And I want you also to include a little bit of passion so that you get more than money. And as you grow, you're doing also serving what you love. Yeah.
And what are other questions like the interviewer
the other one they would ask you is what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses?
Okay, before you get to that, like when they ask you about your strengths and your weaknesses, should you mention your weaknesses honestly?
Yeah, you should. Everybody has a weakness, but remember, also just stick to the job. You know the job title guides. For example, if I'm in sales, strengths like go-getting could be important, but might not be important for some jobs that are nursing. For example, I'm a go-getter nurse. Not really. So when you're mentioning your strengths, if it's something about caring for people, then compassion, loving people, I like to serve. If it is sales, then you have to bring in I like to talk to people, I like meeting new people. So those are the strengths. The weakness could be just a very interesting way you can mention your weaknesses in a very, but still related to the job. For example, instead of saying you say I'm a patient person, or I don't like people who lie. That could be a weakness. I hate liars. But why? It tells you I prefer integrity. Yeah.
So basically, when you're mentioning your weaknesses, you mention them in like kind of a positive way.
Yes. And also, we said stick to what is important for this job. Okay. And if you actually feel the job, and if you're actually doing what you really like, you realize it comes easier. Because it's just mentioning what is just all about you. If I am into marketing and I love to, we've used marketing a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry, marketers, but maybe, yeah. So if you really know what marketing entails, what are the skills that are required for a good marketer, then you realize it comes easier than when you're going there to pretend. It actually, it doesn't come out nicely. So when you go for an interview, prepare yourself mentally, and I also include psychologically. Be married to what you're going. Then it's easier for you to flow.
Yeah. Okay. So how do I dress for an interview? Do you believe in something like overdressing for a position or underdressing for the position?
I think it's important to just dress well, but also according to remember every position requires a different sort of addressing. So know what is the job all about, and be ready for it, and especially do a lot of background check. And I realize many people around here in Kenya really don't prepare well for an interview. I've done many interviews for people, you realize they have not prepared at all. They don't know anything about the company. Sometimes they've just applied for a job they really don't know much about. So when they go for an interview, it becomes an embarrassment, not only for them, but even for the interviewers. And remember, and I know many other people feel that many people do interviews just for the sake. They already have people who they want to come.
Yeah.
It's not true. I believe every employer, especially most employers really are looking for the best skill in the market. And you need to go with that in your mind. Why? It makes you bring out your best. Even if they had their own candidate thinking, but if you come in really well, you create an impact. So go there and don't assume that they have their own people. Go there feeling that this is your opportunity to serve. So go with a lot of you-ness. Yeah. Take the whole person of you. Bring out your best, your presentation, how you dress, and be presentable. Yeah.
Okay. How do I deal with like lack of confidence when I'm in an interview? Because most of the time interviewers can be intimidating. So how do I deal with that?
So for me, my advice, confidence, you have to prepare. First of all, prepare before you go. And you have to believe in yourself. I mean, really, you've gone to school, maybe studied 4 years or whatever years for this opportunity. You need to convince yourself that you are ready. And they say you'll only get what you really are ready for. If you feel you are not ready, most likely people will know. Yeah, because we send messages. Our body language says a lot, because if you are lying, people can tell. Remember, all these are 4 or 5 people, a panel that are just watching you. Later on, they'll go and discuss. So everybody might award you marks, then they go and discuss and say, this one, I felt this, and this. So go there and be your best. And don't fear. Feel that you're part of, you have something to offer the world. And for sure, you have. And everybody has something to offer the world.
Can the interviewers take it negatively when maybe you're overconfident?
Not really, but there's no need to be overconfident. Just be confident.
Okay.
Yes. Be confident. Don't be intimidated. Don't fear. Yeah. Remember, out of the interview, actually, what do you want? You want the job, isn't it? Yeah. And you want to come to this team. So are you ready to be part of the team? Yeah. Okay. So it's beyond interview. Look at yourself like this is a gateway to an organization. Do you want these guys to open for you the door? And do you feel it's your time to get in? Or you still feel you need to be out? When you're ready, the world knows. It will give you an opportunity. So go there and be ready. So prepare before you go for the interview. When the time comes, you'll be ready. And the world will open a door for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when they ask you, like your salary expectations, how do you like negotiate your salary? Because you'll find that you can be overworked and underpaid. So how do you negotiate your salary during the interview?
Okay, the interview, it might not be a good place to negotiate. They might give you another chance to come and negotiate salary, but they would always ask you, what is your expectation? So you need to do a lot of background work. Do behind the scene. Even if you can't get access to this organization, there are similar organizations, of course, in the industry. If it's a banking job, you can almost tell entry jobs for banks are almost similar salary or thereabouts. So do a lot of asking around so that by the time you come, you have a range. The people who've done it earlier, the people who are going for the second job, at least they know they have a salary now. They know maybe I need a 20% rise in my current salary. So it's easier. But the challenge is usually the ones who are starting out. So ask your friends around, because there's somebody who is doing, or somebody who is working in this company, how much they are able to give. And you can find information if you really look. Yeah. So it's better to come in with a range in your mind so that it's easier. When you're really pushed, you can mention something that is within the range. Yeah. But you can also say open to negotiation. Usually when they give you an offer, if it's a high-level job, they'll give you another chance to come and negotiate the salary. But for many entry positions, you might not have that luxury. Yeah, so just get a slight idea. And also you can gauge your skills. From your skills, really, if you are paying yourself, how much would you pay? Yeah, so don't overquote or underquote. Why overquoting means underquoting means you're underselling yourself, and people feel that you might not give us the value that we are looking. If you're over, then you feel that you're over ambitious and you might not even stay in our team too long. Yeah. Okay. So it's good to understand the range and be within the range. Yeah. I think, those are the ones I could remember today. If there's any other question, maybe the viewers can ask us, then we will be able to answer them. Yeah.
So another question, in the interview, you might be asked, where do you see yourself in like the next 5 years? Why do they ask you that, and what should you answer? I think that when they just want to gauge your career growth pattern, what is your path? You remember we had talked about career path. Yeah. So that they want to know, is the job we are giving you part of the overall path you're trying to take? Because if it's something off, then we know even if you come to our team as an organization, you're likely not to stay too long. Or you feel that experience that you're getting is not helping you. Remember, in our basket of experience, might not be very useful to you. Yeah. So people want to see, if they give you the job, is it helping you? And as it helps you, will you be able to give the best? So that's why we said careers is a path. So please define yours.
By the time you go to, so so you need to know as you go for the interview, how is this career, how is this job I'm getting fitting into my career path.
Okay.
Yeah. So they just want to see really how you're staying, how long you'll stay with us. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sure like we haven't tackled all the interview questions, and the viewers out there, I know you have a few questions that you'd like them answered. You can go ahead and drop them on the comment section, or you can DM us on Lengo Africa. Yeah. So thank you, Winnie, for being with us today, and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow Lengo Africa on all the social media platforms. See you in the next episode. Thank you.